if you have a fever or any kind of respiratory.
Good evening, a pleasant welcome to LNTV News Live. This is a 30-minute presentation of major news about Liberia and other parts of our one world. It's Friday, the 8th day of May 2020. My name is Zokwe Beslokonen, anchoring this edition of the program LNTV News Live. In our headlines, COVID-19 Response National Coordinator Mirabro says plans have been made to allow easy food and water deliveries under the state of emergency. Agriculture Ministry launches transport permits for local farmers. Information Minister Eugene Nangbe says the Liberian government, especially the presidency, remains open to audit. And as we're in Africa, Ghana, about weeks away from developing drugs for COVID-19. These stories plus many more developments are all coming up in the program LNTV News Live. Let's take a short break to be back with the faces of the newsmakers. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. Plans are on the way to ensure local farmers are allowed to go to their farms and produce more food for country under the current state of emergency. According to Agriculture Minister Jenny Cooper, if farmers are stopped from producing now, it will have a negative trickle-down effect on the country in longer time. She made the comments at the launch of the Ministry of Agriculture transport permit for farmers in Monrovia to aid easy passage of farmers in the country.
Because if we stop the farmers from planting now, we will feel the effects for the next 1 year or more. We don't have a huge domestic food stock. We want to make sure that we can increase that food stock and have everything that we can plant it, and there's a different initiative that we're coming up with very shortly on the Triumph, we call them Triumph Gardens. This is something we will talk about them when we launch it, but y'all can get an advanced view. We want everybody, every citizen in Liberia who is able-bodied, plant something. Plant your food. Plant food. We don't know tomorrow. Nobody coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. Plant everything you can. Any kind of food, collard green, potato green, whatever you can plant, cassava, plant it. And when harvest time comes, there's some food that you have for yourself. It's a system that was used in World War I. In the Western countries, when they were at war, they call them victory gardens. They used them in World War II. We use them ourselves. We know we had to hustle during the wars and things like that. Now this is a different kind of war where we have to depend on ourselves. So the Triumph Gardens that we are doing, that will be launched in the next few days.
Meanwhile, Minister Cooper called on farmers to obtain their permits from government to enable them move about freely.
Work is meant to allow our farmers to be able to move. You generate your pass, you get to the checkpoint, there's a way for the checkpoint, the security at the checkpoint to make sure that you are genuine and that you are registered here in Monrovia with the COVID Response Center. It's a short code and they will show you how it works. It's very, very ingenious, but it also allows us to track who all is moving. When Quideu Farms wants to move a load of cashew from one county and they need to carry it to the port in Buchanan, and I'm just using examples here, or to the store in Buchanan or the store in Monrovia, they generate their pass, they bring their goods. When they reach the checkpoint, they can check that thing and say, oh yes, this is true, this person has gotten their permission from Monrovia, from the COVID Response Center, and allow them to go. They're ready to go back, and all of that is generated. So I will let the gentleman go through how this pass is going to work. All I'm going to say is that we have all put all of our efforts behind this COVID response. We have to stay safe, we have to observe the protocols, but we also have to farm and we have to grow our own food. At the same time, we have to be self.
At the same time, the National COVID-19 Response Coordinator, Madam Mary Bro, says plans are also in place to aid the easy passage of food and water deliveries under the state of emergency. Madam Bro maintained that allowing these groups easy passage will help provide for those staying home to have access to food and water for their families. She made comments at the launch of the Ministry of Agriculture transport permit for farmers in Monrovia.
Stopping the farmers from moving, so there's no movement. The small growers, the outgrowers, the small farmers, the processors, they can't move. Every time they get somewhere, at a checkpoint, they say, you're not going anywhere. So we decided we're going to create a platform and do what you call an MOA transport permit. That permit is going to allow a farmer to move from point A to point B and back, if that's the case. Now, some of the farmers will go from here, there, and will return. Some of the farmers will go from here, there, and return. So we have to put everything, every activity on the platform. This is the first time that we're doing something like this to be able to aid the farmers. We're also doing something to aid the business people. Those who deliver food, those who deliver water. We are trying our best to open up the business corridor. That corridor must open, but with the health protocols. We have to adhere to the protocols. Meaning, you wash your hands, you wear your mask, and you socially distance. These three things are very important, and we have messaging coming out. Our messaging for this, for the protocols, must resonate with the communities. Everything we do now is community-based. Community, community, community. We have to respect the communities. We have to look at the existing structures. We have to speak with them and let them know that we are not there to hurt them, but we are there. We are not there to hurt them, but we are there to help them. Because they don't want to trust us. They say we're bringing a coronavirus in their community. So every time they see you, even with a vest, a jacket, they're ready to run you out. So at this time, on the agriculture side, that component, that sector, we want to also be able.
The government of Liberia says the presidency and the entire government is open for audit. Information Minister Eugene Nangwe said the presidency and finances of President George Weah are subject to audit once those calling for such are subject to a check invoke the necessary clause as prescribed by the law. Minister Nangwe's comment comes in the wake of concerns being raised by some Liberians about the properties of President George Weah. The information minister told LNTV Friday that President Weah is operating within the confines of the law, adding that the president has not used public funds to acquire properties. Minister Nangwe explained that President Weah acquired several properties in Liberia, the United States, and Cote d'Ivoire prior to him becoming president. Several cocoa farmers in Yelikwala District, Bon County, have benefited from assorted anti-coronavirus materials to stop the further spread of the virus. The items donated by the Vanguard Agriculture Development and Management Consultancy, Vademco, include cartons of soap, 14 25 kg bags of rice, buckets, spraying cans, and chloride. Presenting the materials, Vademco officer in charge for Bonk and Lufa counties, Lucini Fofana, said the initiative is part of his organization's contribution to combat COVID-19 among the cocoa farmers. He said Vademco, as a farmer developing consultancy, can not only focus on farming activities in this time of health crisis. Mr. Fofana, however, encouraged the farmers to observe the Ministry of Health's protocols to halt the spread of the virus. Normal broadcast has resumed at the Voice of Sanoye radio station in Bon County. Our Lower Bon County correspondent said the reopening of the radio station was made possible by Bon County Representative Papa Collet and other prominent citizens. Our correspondent quotes Sanoye District Commissioner Milton Vani as saying broadcast at the radio station will help in information dissemination, especially during this coronavirus epidemic. He then applauded Representative Collet and other citizens of Bon County for making broadcast possible at the station. Our correspondent also added that citizens of the area are expressing delight for the opening of the radio station, saying that that station has been off the air for a long time. Well, if you have just joined us, there's a reminder that you are watching LNTV News Live, a 30-minute presentation of major news about Liberia and other parts of our world. It's Friday, the 8th day of May 2020. My name is Zokwe Beslokon and anchoring this edition of the program LNTV News Live. Let's recap our headlines. COVID-19 National Response Coordinator Mary Bro says plans have been made to allow easy food and water deliveries under the state of emergency. Agriculture Ministry launches transport permits for local farmers. Information Minister Eugene Nangwe says the Liberian government, especially the presidency, remains open to audit, and as we're in Africa, Ghana, about weeks away from developing drugs for COVID-19. LNTV News Live takes a short break to be back with more developments. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. Chinese Embassy near Monrovia has donated several masks to the Liberian Senate for use against the spread of coronavirus. The donation was made by a representative from the Chinese Embassy, Li Friday at the capital.
For our Chinese government, Chinese Embassy here, we are brought the mask because this is the right time for this one to use it now. And also the alcohol there, and the alcohol is very difficult to find. The market now is 70%, so we can separate, everybody can use it. I believe everything will be okay and the virus will be finished soon because we will work together, fight together, and win together.
Receiving the donation on behalf of the Senate, Bomi County Senator Sandra Johnson lauded the Chinese mission for the gesture.
Well, on behalf of the Senate and the pro tem, we want to say a big thank you to you, to your government, for the donation made to the National Senate. The pro tem has asked me sincerely, on behalf of all of us, that we appreciate what you have done. He also want me to tell you that this is not the first time that your government has come to work with the Senate and assist the Senate. If you can recall, even the building we are standing on today was done through the efforts of your government. And so we will continue to work with your government in making sure that the two countries, the ties between the two countries, will be respected in the interest of our people. So again, I want to thank you. The items will be turned over to the office of the pro tem, and then he will take the decision. Once again, thank you.
Nimba County Representative Joseph Somwabi is calling for vigorous awareness about the coronavirus among the people of his county. Speaking in an LNTV interview Friday in Monrovia, Representative Somwabi said doing so will reduce the spread of the virus in Nimba.
Personally, I consider this to be a health emergency, and as the chair on health in the House of Representatives, representing the 73 lawmakers currently on the National Steering Committee on COVID-19, I look at it that when the disease has entered our county, and being a son of that land, I thought it wise that the messages that people are giving, the health authority and other WHO or partners are giving, those messages should resonate with our people. Even if you provide them pocket, you provide them other material, if the message is not clear, is not re-emphasized to them, you will see that some of those pockets will be sitting there. What they are to do, they will not do it, and as a result, you will see a sporadic increase among in a disease among our people. So on those basis, I identify the Nimba Community Radio Station Association leadership, and I identify with all of the radio stations in a Willow-mite way. In a little way that I said, let them be able to help in our local vernaculars persistently continue to educate our people. Because even if you distribute the bucket, you who distributing, you may not be there, but the radio, the old lady, the old man, they keep listening to their radio. When they continue to hear the message of prevention and taking precaution, when it resonates with them, then a deserving impact will be achieved.
Starbet, a betting company, has donated several coronavirus preventive items to the National COVID Response Team in Monrovia. Woods Yanton made the donation on behalf of the company Friday.
So Starbet, as an institution that is here to stay and wanting to see the government eradicate this deadly virus, we thought in our minds that from time to time we can always contribute in our weak way and come up with a few of these items that can help sanitize people and keep them safe in the line of the fight. So we brought along 5 cartons of large bottles of Clorox, 450 pieces of branded nose masks, 10 cartons of small Thai soap, 3 cartons of Purell's hand sanitizers. So from time to time, like I said, there will always be a way that we can come around to show that we too want this government to end this battle against the deadly coronavirus pandemic.
Receiving the items, the National COVID-19 Response Coordinator, Madam Mary Brow, lauded the group for the gesture and vowed to use the items to fight the virus.
For you to think about this response, for you to come and say, look, we are all in this together, it means a whole lot. A whole lot. You didn't have to come because businesses are just failing. Businesses are struggling to make ends meet to pay their employees. But for you to come and give this, it might be a widow's mite, but it's coming from your heart. You are now saying we are together. You are patriotic, you are nationalistic. And this is what I look in for young men, young women. Look for this. I look for the nationalism. I look for this patriotism from you young people. So I'm now being encouraged that you are all coming around because I'm beginning to see young people come to me and donate to their response, the COVID-19 response. Keep it up. I wish you the best. Businesses will come up. There's light at the end of the tunnel. This land shall heal. We shall heal. And joy comes in the morning. Yep. Thank you.
Let's now bring you our foreign development. Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research at the University of Ghana says the country is about weeks away from developing drugs for COVID-19. The Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research of the University of Ghana has been the foremost institution since Ghana's first case on March 12. According to the director of the institute, Professor Abraham Anang, the culture systems are being established for preclinical study experiment that will last for 8 weeks. The BBC quotes Professor Anang as stressing that the genome's sequencing provides another opportunity to leverage research and begin to look at how such information and capability can extend into the identification of new drugs, especially from herbal origins and traditional medicine origins. He reiterated that the Institute had to partner with other allied bodies to set up a platform for diagnosis for detection, noting that the Ghanaian government contributed funding to recruit and support the scientists. The BBC also said Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research at the University of Ghana remains one of the leading centers for scientific testing and medical research for various epidemics. With that from the foreign scene, this is how we come to the end of the program LNTV News Live. Before we take a leave of you on the program LNTV News Live, let's now take a relook at our top stories. COVID-19 Response National Coordinator Mary Brow says plans have been made to allow easy food and water deliveries under the state of emergency. Agriculture Ministry launches transport permits for local farmers. Information Minister Eugene Nangbe says the Liberian government, especially the presidency, remains open to audit. And as we're in Africa, Ghana, about weeks away from developing drugs for COVID-19. With that from the headlines, this is how we come to the end of the program LNTV News Live. Many thanks to you all for your viewing role. Many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, technicians, switchers, and editors for making this package a success. A big thank you to Sekou Kroma and the Top TV team in Zwedru Grant, Jide County for relaying all of our programs. LNTV News Live comes to you every Monday to Friday with the early edition at 10 to 10:30 in the morning and the late edition at 8 to 8:30 in the evening. On behalf of the entire television staff, my name is Zokwe Beslokonen. I've been anchoring this edition. Thanks for watching. Good night from Pinsville. Please remember to stay safe, stay home, and save lives. Coronavirus is real.